Hi everyone and welcome to our presentation. We focused on the travel and leisure sector and our companies are Finnair and Hilton Worldwide. So let's begin with a company introduction. Finnair is a Finnish airline dominating both the domestic and international air travel in Finland. It flies to 132 destinations all over the world and positions itself as the gateway between Europe and Asia. Hilton Worldwide operates in the hospitality sector and is one of the largest and fastest-growing hospitality companies. It has hotels in 119 countries. Here are the vision and mission of both companies. Feel free to stop the video and give them a read. I'm not going to read them out loud because of the time reasons. So let's move on to corporate social responsibility and sustainability issues affecting airlines and hospitality companies. It is no secret that air travel is a big polluter and flying is very environmentally friendly. Yet we are flying more than ever and there doesn't seem to be an end to the growth of air travel as many countries have emerging middle classes. This is Finnair's largest sustainability issue. In hospitality sector, the problem is the use of water, energy, disposable plastics, and waste creation. These are also the main issues concerning Hilton.
This section will then give further insights into standards adopted by the two companies in compiling the sustainability reports. So they both adopted the Global Reporting Initiatives or GRI standards in their CSR report. As you can see from the table, other standards are also implemented. Now, we will then draw the focus to how we can evaluate two companies' implementation of the GRI standards. There are two sets of criteria which focus on the content and quality aspects of the CSR reports. Firstly, let's examine the content. The two companies have done a thorough stakeholder analysis followed by a stakeholder engagement plan, in which they have clearly explained how they can engage with the stakeholders, both externally and internally. Significantly, Hilton has done a better job in extending the sustainability context to a much wider level, rather than just confining within the company itself like Finnair. Hilton therefore has been able to achieve a high rate of completeness by providing not only historical performance report, but also including updates on project's progress and the future scheme, the 2030 goal tracking. Lastly, the materiality in both reports is comprehensive, insightful, and analytical, which would greatly assist stakeholders in assessments and decision-making process. Regarding the aspects of quality, both companies have provided detailed and accurate calculations as well as evidence-based claims in their reports, thus resulting in high level of clarity and comparability. In terms of reliability, both companies used external assurance to ensure the transparency and credibility of the reports. However, there are some key differences that should be acknowledged. Firstly, only Hilton took a balanced approach in reporting by providing positive and negative sides of their sustainable efforts. For each of their social projects, they provided clear and insightful progress indicating whether or not they have reached their goals. Lastly, in terms of timeliness, they both publish their reports annually, but only Hilton has given a prompt update on their COVID-19 response in their CSR report.
I'm going to talk about Finnair's Sustainable Development Goals. First, I chose climate action because, as we know, flying has nowadays a negative light, is in negative light, and for this reason, Finnair needs to focus on the climate sector. So, Finnair aims to be one of the leading aviation companies in sustainable development sector. Their long-time goal is to be carbon neutral by the end of 2045 and cut carbon emissions by half by the end of 2025. So in 5 years. They have offered a voluntary carbon offset for its customers. They have stopped it now, but in the future they will offer two kinds of tickets, the normal priced and a more expensive one where the carbon offset will be included. Then I chose responsible consumption and production. Finnair invests in fuel-efficient aircraft to sustain its comparative advantage. For example, Airbus 350s use 20 to 25% less fuel than previous models. They have also reduced food waste by offering pre-order possibility, and the waste from flights ending in Helsinki can be fully recycled. In my opinion, Finnair should focus on the sustainable cities and communities. People travel to see and learn from other cultures. They want to see what's out there. So, by supporting local cultures and communities, Finnair helps the locals, but also maintains the interest to travel, which is profitable for Finnair. Uh, Hilton World's sustainable development goals. They have 2030 goals, so double investment in social impact and cut environmental footprint by half. I read through the Hilton Corporate Responsibility Program from 2018, and I chose these three main goals, but they have listed every single goal in their program, so it was a bit hard to choose. But first of all, they have decent work and economic growth. They have focused on offering jobs to youth, training them, and helping them with their lives. So, for example, Passport to Successful Hospitality Program. They trained 20,000 young people in partnership with the National Youth Foundation. Then we have sustainable cities and communities. Hilton has multiple countries and cities where the social investment is targeted. For example, investing $1 million in African tourism. Then they have the Hilton Response Foundation, which offers humanitarian disaster relief in natural disaster areas. Then finally, we have responsible consumption and production. Hilton has reduced water consumption, waste output, and energy consumption since 2008. And for example, they recycle soap balls, no soap ends to the landfill, and they donate leftover food in many hotels. I personally can't choose where Hilton should focus on because in the program they had targeted every single sustainable development goal. So it is really hard to say, and honestly, I think they are doing very much in order to accomplish their goals.
When it comes to these companies' responses to COVID-19, there are some similarities and some big differences. Both Finnair and Hilton have reduced operations and laid off employees, but they also have negotiated their employees to have temporary jobs in other industries. For example, some of Finnair's employees work in healthcare now. They have also offered customers some flexibility in terms of flights and reservations, and also maintained clean and hygienic facilities to ensure customers' health. However, differences can be seen in the way and the extent to which these companies help communities. What Finnair has done is that it offered children help with homework. Hilton, on the other hand, has initiated extensive measures in many areas. For example, they offer hand-washing possibilities, accommodation to healthcare workers, they donate food and masks, and help charities financially. These differences in concrete acts of help highlight the differences in the responses for COVID-19. Finnair and Hilton sit in different parts of the framework. Finnair is on the innovative stage and Hilton on the transforming stage. Here's why. Finnair has the objective to be industry leader only in environmental terms, but it hasn't set its social impact goals as high. Its goal is to have a good reputation and a license to operate. Hilton, on the other hand, has set standards for the whole industry, striving to make a change. It wants the whole system to be sustainable. Regarding issues management, Finnair tries to solve most relevant problems regarding sustainability, whereas Hilton tracks its performance in different areas and also reports the results transparently. Both collaborate with different stakeholders and industries, but Hilton forms partnerships to solve big problems. So, Finnair makes contributions towards corporate sustainability to some extent, but Hilton goes beyond with goals that try to make everyone better off of their business.
About the future strategy,
I'm going to talk about the weakness and opportunities of these two firms and what improvements can be made. Both Finnair and Hilton are think highly of consumers' experience because they are both in service business. The weakness of Finnair in the CSR space is its sustainability. The vision is imperative to manage global trade, increase the understanding between nations and individuals, and enable different aid and support innovatives. It needs to address that challenge and decouple its traffic growth from the emissions growth. In the long term, it needs to find a way to keep its business less dependent on one industry and develop a multi-aspect. The opportunities of Finnair is good reputation in the worldwide. Finnair is always considered as high-end travel flight because it's responsible, good governance, professional service, and nice experience. It is important to keep them up to increase the popularity among consumers to have better development in the future. The weakness of Hilton in the CSR space is globalization. There are different cultures and government politics in each country that affect the operations. This makes it harder for Hilton to run a consistent global business. Hilton Worldwide has announced its commitment to continually improve its CSR performance in the following directions, such as employees, impact on the local community, environment, and responsive sourcing. These mentioned above can be their opportunities and future improvements. Hilton can support local communities educating and empowering workers, pay attention to gender equality, and so on.